Okay, guys. Good morning, everybody. From wherever you're watching, good morning. From my home country, Nigeria. This is 6:24 a.m. And don't forget, it's your boy again, only one by FX, and you know the vibes. So, guys, it's been a while I posted on my YouTube channel, and it has been a really, really, really long ride, right? Starting behind the scene, working, putting in work, taking those losses, and yet you're learning, you're not posting, you know, disappeared. And, I've been off for a very, very long period of time. And guess what? I've been working, 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 working. So, guys, I want to explain this gold market, all right? A simple strategy I use in trading gold. And this can be one of the best and most simplest. There is no complicated strategy. All right. So I'm on this trade on gold already. I took buys from this gold here. I took buys around I think four around this side, yes. I took buys from here. Right. This on 1 hour chart. So I took buys from here. I'm expecting nice move up to the upside. So probably a higher low to form again to keep going higher. So now I want to start from the daily chart. Right. So I'm here to just give you a breakdown on what is happening on gold. Let me clear this chart. Now, on the daily chart, what do we see? We notice that what happened, what market did was something like this, a lower highs and a lower low. That's on the daily chart. Because as you can see right here, this market break this level of this particular sellers right here, making this low. And you can see this was a lower high that pushed this low. Right? So now, if you're the kind of person that trade daily time frame and you want to wait for the daily time frame to align, how I trade, you do what? You wait for a pullback. Right? So now on the daily time frame, the best thing anybody that trading on daily, what the person will actually do is what? Is to wait for this pullback to happen to create a corrective lower high, like to confirm a lower high, you know, to confirm a lower high and start what? Selling again. You understand? So that is for daily. If you trade from daily perspective, but if you are trading from daily perspective, there is no way you should be looking for buys for now. No. And remember, when we talk about a price making lower low, from this point now is an impulsive move. And there is always that tendency that if this is a daily presentation making impulsive, lower low, then on 4 hour, we get to see something like a low, a lower highs, a low, a lower highs, a low, a lower highs, a low, that created what? That lower low on daily chart. Like this particular trading of a thing, you need to learn to do what? To align the time frames. That is one of the best. That's one of the one biggest problem you need to understand. Learn to align your trade, your time frame. Now, let's go to what on daily. What are we seeing? On daily has been making lower low, and now there's a tendency for it to push what a lower high. That is what we are seeing on daily. And people that trade from daily perspective have to wait for this lower high to form correctively first. You can see, and you notice that this particular one now requires a lot of patience, and it will take some days before that lower high can form. So since you know that yes, you cannot wait for daily, and that is why it's advisable to screw to 4 hours and use and trade and use 4 hours as structure or direction, and then use 1 hour to blend it. Since you know that you cannot wait for daily now, you know that before this market pull back for lower high, you will definitely run out of patience. Then there's no tendency for you to do what? Start looking at daily to trade in line with daily. Now let's go to 4 hour. Since we know what is happening on daily, that price just made this low, and then the normal correction is what about to happen or happening already, a pullback to continue downward, possibility for that, right? So now let's go to what on 4 hour chart. Yo, bro, please if you are listening to, or if you come across this video, please you need to pay attention to this particular explanation, because most of the times Majority of us don't understand how to read the flow of the market. Now, there's one big mistake most people do, right? Most of you tend to pay attention to this point, and this particular point, this left hand side, this is literally the past price. To be sincere, there is no business with you. You don't have any business thinking anything at this point. This particular left hand side, the only business you have here is what? Once you are looking for sales within this point, for example, you're looking for sales within this point, like here, right? And then you just be looking for stop loss by your left. This is why you be searching for, okay, this low is here. This is why you be looking for your stop loss. This is why, like, this is what you should be doing. Okay, I'm not saying this is a must, but I need you to go back and test this thing. Most of the times, you pay attention to the wrong side. Like now, a market made what? Like this. Before it made something like this, all right, it has already made something, by, do anything at all, like anything at all. That's what I'm telling you now. Now, you don't have any business with what's happening here. And this is the reason why most people tend to wait, tend to do mistake or run out of patience because they fail to wait for a lower high to form in the now and then to break lower low to confirm sales. Because of what? You pay attention to your left, you are paying attention to the past price. Learn to do what? Focus on the current market structure. Now, let's go back to our what? 4 hours. Most of the times, this is one of the big mistake most trader does. You tend to focus on the past price. Why? What we are trading is what is happening now, right? What is happening what? Now. Oh, sorry. My network is bad. Yo. Sorry guys, my network is kind of bad. I don't really know why this network is behaving like this. And it's really pissing me off. So you see, so one of the main reason I said most of you do this mistake is because yeah, I've been there. That I was trading that way. I was analyzing the market that way. I always pay attention to what has happened. Whereas the main game is being played in your front. Yes, the main game you're looking for is always being played at the front of the chart. So I don't know why my network is disturbing. I think this will make me cut this video because of I need to check what is going on. Oh God, what the hell is this, bro? So I'm trying to figure it out, and let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. I believe somebody is really, really getting something. If you're as you're watching this video, right? You're really, really getting something tangible, something that will shift your perspective toward trading. Most of you don't even understand this thing for a very long period of time now. Yes, for a very long period of time, most of you don't understand these things. Now, like I said, when we have market making a lower highs and a lower low on daily, then the 4 hours, this particular point is usually a bearish momentum, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Yes, this particular inside, which is this structure, the internal structure of here is usually bearish. You see, this time frame of a thing is just basically what? Alignment, alignment. Now, pay attention to the 4 hour chart. All right, on the 4 hour chart before this market break, you see I am paying attention to my left hand side. To my right hand side, this front. You can see how this market has been presenting lower high. It will push up a little, create this lower high, it will drop. You can see, create a lower high, it will drop. You see, now it tried to create a lower high here. All right, this is where my entry started coming from. Remember, the daily is making a lower low, which is there's a tendency for a pullback to start, on daily for it to make a lower high, which you know that you're not supposed to trade because of what? If you are trading in line of the daily, you must always wait for the market to confirm itself. For something to be a lower high, you have to wait for that lower high to form. So imagine on waiting on daily for daily to form show you lower high. It will take a very, very long period of time. Yes, like it will take for you to wait for something like this to start forming on daily, like a lower high like this. I don't know for people, you can possibly wait, but for me, oh, like it will really, really take a lot of time for me to sit down and wait, okay, for this thing to confirm a lower high for me, and then sell off again from daily perspective. So now that I come to the 4 hour, I notice that leg of that daily that made that lower low. On that leg, we are seeing it on 4 hours, a good structure of lower highs, lower highs, lower highs for me. You can see that, right? Now, this was where my entry started coming from. Since I noticed market made this lower high, I noticed that market started giving us a higher low. And then I said, okay, if I'm seeing a higher low on 4 hours coming in, that means on daily, we are start seeing what? A pullback then. Because that daily pullback that will make that lower high on 4 hours, obviously you will see a bullish structure coming in. You understand? Now, since I don't trade based from daily, all right, I basically see the 4 hour structure and then do what? Go to 1 hour and then fade it and just join along the trend. Now, I'm using the analogy of daily to trade the 4 hour and know how to enter the market. Now, on the daily, remember, we're doing lower low and we are seeing the market is trying to push lower high, which I said in this particular daily, the first lower low that happened this on 4 hour, it was structural and making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Now, as we're about to make a pullback, there's always a tendency that that pullback can also be what? Structural on 4 hours, making higher lows, and higher lows. You see? So basically, now it's okay, you now pause as okay, since we have daily like this forming, and then on 4 hour, initially we're having something like on 4 hour, lower highs, multiple lower highs on 4 hour, as you can see here. Okay, and then unfortunately you started seeing market making lower highs and then higher low, and then boom, what is this? Remember, this is just a pullback on daily. This particular thing is a impulsive move on daily, which is what? The continuation, lower low. Now we are actually seeing what? The pullback about to happen to make what? A lower high and then do what? Sell off, lower low. That's from daily what? Perspective. I hope you're understanding me. So now if you notice how I'm paying attention, I don't pay attention to this motherfuckers here. Bro, whatever is happening is what I'm using. Whatever is happening now is what I'm using. So you see, I have to wait. Like if you pause and understand that the game is literally waiting, man, you start noticing that yes, the money is in the waiting. Like if you already the very first time you start waiting, you start noticing that this particular work is very boring. Trading is very, very boring. And most of the losses you see comes during the wait because doing nothing is excuse. Yes, I'll be sincere. Sitting on your hands and doing nothing is excuse. Now, on the 4 hours, we see the market made a higher low, right? Automatically, after making this higher low, how did I get this entry that market is making a higher low? Now, remember I said if daily is making lower high, lower low, right? Which means inside this point here like this, on 4 hour making it lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Now, sorry, if 4 hours is doing what? Making a low, lower highs, lower low, and then fortunately make a lower high, then made a higher low, then started pushing up. Now, for you to say this is a higher low on 4 hours, the same scenario, if you go to 1 hour, let me push it this side because this particular screen might block. So now, if this is for 4 hours, you can see, for you to say that this is 4 hour higher low now, remember I said inside the structure, The more you go lower, you notice that there's always bullish structure on pullback, there's always bearish structure on, the pullback has sometimes is always structural. Now, on 4 hours, this is our higher low we are seeing, right? But for what will confirm this higher low for me now, I am going to go 1 hour because I don't use daily. So now I use 4 hours to know what is going on now. So I notice that 4 hours is giving like a higher low here. After pushing this low, then push, and then it's now failing to come here. I say, okay, that means this thing might be a higher low, but what will confirm it for me is if 1 hour is giving me a bullish structure or a bullish move or a bullish alignment. Because now I am not trading in terms of the daily. Because if I'm trading in terms of the daily, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to trade yet. But now I am trading based off the 4 hours chart, then blending it with 1 hour for my entry also. Now let's go to 1 hour. Let me show what happened. Immediately I say this is higher low forming, I went to 1 hour chart. Like, you need to pay attention to what I'm explaining to you. Remember, on bullish momentum, I don't look at the highs. My own aim is to pay attention to the higher lows. How was the market defending the higher lows? That is my main aim. You see, now I'm focusing on what is happening now. That's why if market made a high, there's no way for me to close immediately. I want to see that market make correct a higher low again to continue. You see, to continue. If market is making a series of low, higher low, why are you closing your trade so fast? Now, let's pay attention. This was where I said Fawa gave me a clue. Now, initially I wanted to sell. Yes, earlier today I wanted to sell this market. But when I noticed that the bullish momentum are coming in. Now, what did I notice? I noticed from here, please pay close attention. I feel like let me clear this. Sorry, let me clear this thing so that you can see what I'm saying. Like, the 1 hour is the flow of the market, is where you get your precision entry. If you are blending it with 4 hours, because 4 hours literally tell you 4 hours need to give you a confirmed higher low. Then if 4 hours is giving a confirmed higher low, you notice that if you go to 1 hour, what you want to see is a bullish momentum or a bullish flow coming in so that you can ride along that flow and then continue. Now, when I went to 4 hours, when I went to 1 hour initially, I noticed that market was giving me, after making this high, it started giving me like a lower high right here. You can see a lower high, and then it started giving me a sign of lower high. This was why I was looking for sell-off, because obviously on 4 hour we were expecting a lower high to push lower low. But the reason why I paused was because since I noticed that the daily was already making that pullback rejection from that daily to make a corrective lower high, which I know that if a daily is going to make a lower high on 4 hours or on 1 hour, it will be a very, very massive move for buys. You see how I am blending these things. That's why I paused the sell. I said, okay, let me wait and see what happened. Immediately I wait and see what happened. I noticed after this lower high formed, I hope you guys are seeing my arrow. And don't mind the way I talk. I am talking out of, like, I'm trying to explain this thing for you guys to understand that trading the naked chart is as easy as fuck. Sorry to use that word, but you need to really do what? Learn to shift your mind and adapt. You need to be moving with the market. You need to be moving with the market. Now, you notice after market made this lower high, I'll be indicating with arrow, lower high. And this was the last low it created. I'll be indicating with arrow. This was the last low it created, this last low. Now, I said, okay, let me observe. I noticed buyers started defending, making first higher low. You see, now you need to observe and see, oh, since I say that the fall has been giving me this higher low or possibility, you now come to 1 hour, started seeing that the buyers here sitting right here, the buyers that are sitting right here, wedged a higher low. Now what happened? It pushed up again, trying to make like a lower high. In fact, a lower high formed. This is obviously a lower high again. Like, you need to understand that whether market make a lower highs, a lower, in as much as that higher low is being defended, there's always a high probability that yes, the buys is going to come in because of what 4 hours has confirmed the higher low for us. Remember now, I am always trading in line. I am always trading when 4 hours has confirmed. The market has to confirm itself first. That is rule number one. And imagine sitting and waiting for market to confirm itself. This requires a lot of patience. Now I am not focusing on what is happening yesterday. My main aim is what is happening now. Now, immediately I saw a lower high, I said, can this higher low defend? Immediately I noticed price started pushing down, failed to come to this previous higher low. I was like, yo, that is another second higher low. Buyers doing what? Defending. Since I am seeing this clue and I started seeing this candle pumping, immediately price was around this point like this. That was why I hop in. I said, okay, since the 4 hour is giving me a higher low possibility, and then I come to 1 hour, I started seeing buyers defending first higher low, it made lower high. The second higher low formed and defended, started pushing this candle. I said, yo, I am hopping in. So now he made what? One first higher low. Now he made another what? Second higher low. Now, since I am on this trade, why should I be closing this trade if I am possibly having a expectation of what? A next higher low to form before you start going higher. You see that? Now, most of you, if you are on this trade now, you might have closed this little pullback. A market that is showing you structure of higher highs, higher low, higher low. Obviously, if after push, the next one should be higher low, unless market decide to shift. You need to be reading this thing now. Like, I don't know how to. You need to be moving as the market is moving. The market will not move higher highs, higher low, higher. It cannot move that series, that line. No, the market will continuously battling, changing hands, changing hands. It's your job to do what? To sit on your hands and watch and wait and adapt until the market is in line. You see now, I am aligning 4 hour with 1 hour. I want to make sure that the both time frame are speaking the same thing before I trade. Oh God, I dey burst my head. Like, my explanation alone, what I'm explaining is literally giving me joy for my own self, because I am literally opening your eyes to see that price action is something that confirms itself on the chart. Yes, your problem is you are not patient enough to observe, right? And what brought me to this level, which I am still learning, is because of what? I always learn from my losses. Like, the fastest way you can grow is you need to start losing fast. Like, you need to start learning from your losses as soon as possible. Kai, let me tell you, if you are coming across this video on YouTube, you need to watch this video again and again and again. Now, most of the times, if price retested this higher low, this lower high, that's why I enter. Sometimes the market break above it and then retest it. That's why I enter. That's why I used to enter from this point like this. And then my stop loss is now below a low, which is, you understand now. If you pay attention, you notice that my entry is closer to my invalidation zone, because I know that if anything by any means break this higher low for me, obviously to me I'll be like, yo, the market might not want to move, or the market might just be, just take us out, use us as liquidity. But anytime my stop loss, I'm trying to place my stop loss, is always usually at invalidation zone. A zone whereby, regardless of how this market try and push and break that point, there is nothing that will make me to start selling again. I have to wait, relax, be patient enough to confirm another setup, because this market can literally flip. Look, anytime market is making lower highs, lower low, lower highs, the normal textbook is what? For market to make a lower high and then do what? Sell off, lower low. But you need to pay attention that this market can literally make this lower high, push a little bit, and then do what? Continue to form a higher low. And then do what? Buy. Look, you need to be open. Like, you need to be open to this market. I'm currently floating about almost 1,100, well, 1,300 pips, abi? How should I call it? Oh my God. 1,000 pips plus, right? That's what I'm currently floating on. And I am literally giving you these things for free. Like, just go back and backtest this strategy. Did you see me say, I'm not saying that anything else out there is not working. People I know my friends who are trading and making money with whatever strategy, whatever model you're using. But the funny thing is, people rarely believe something so easy. Like, if something is a probability, and if something an environment whereby anything can happen and is uncertain, why don't you try something easy and easy logic and apply it? But all the time you like complication. If something is so easy, you be like, just this thing, you can solve this thing just because of this particular explanation. I can literally start trading like this. The thing is, simplicity is always the goal. Like, if you trade the flow well, you will notice that ends without number, your job is waiting. Like, majority of the time you wait, guy, because you will definitely wait and keep waiting. The market will always, because I said the one why I'm saying the market will confirm itself. Obviously, for you to say this thing is a higher height, a higher low, a higher high, eh, to be sincere, because of we have this thing right here, because it has displayed, can you start saying something is a higher high, a higher low without you seeing it? Imagine you are reading what has happened. And the only way to know that yes, that this thing might possibly is when price started pulling higher low. You know that from this pullback on 4 hours, on 1 hour, inside this pullback now, you will definitely start seeing small, small sellers. Like, you definitely start seeing small, small sell on 1 hour, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Then you start seeing shift, a little bit shift, higher low, higher, higher low, higher low, higher low. And that is how this market works. All right? That is how the market works. Most of the times, you don't pay attention to the now. Pay attention to what is going on now. Pay close. Now, I'm holding this trade because I want to confirm that this market gives me another higher low, because I have a higher probability for a higher low, because remember, I am trying to use, to trade, because of what? The daily is making a pullback, and on daily pullback, it will be a very, very good pullback, which is why I'm saying that these buys might still have a probability to go higher. A higher probability to move higher. I don't know. But because of the structure, it's literally still bullish, guy. Like, this market is literally making higher low, and then a higher high. And then obviously there will be a tendency for a higher low to form. I don't know. But obviously that is what might form. So why should I rush and close this trade? Whereas I can get more profit inside. Let me tell you, I'll be ending this section today, and I'll be really, really happy if you really pay attention and watch this video from beginning to the end. All right? You see my name. I am Sunday Oluchukwu, only one Mba FX. Let me tell you, this game of trading is consistency. Like, you need to keep on going. No matter the pains you are getting, like, no matter how this thing has been hitting you down, only those who don't quit, and only those who tends to learn from losses, are the ones who shorten their journey. The earlier you start learning from your losses, the more you start saving money, and then your journey start getting clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. But one thing is assured, you must be what? Delusional to believe that this will work. If not, the framework required to start reading, change of flow. Because I told you that obviously there is no way market will always be giving you a high, a higher low. If you no, you that are saying this is a higher, yeah, you might be sitting down saying, okay, this is a higher low. Your mind is now, this is a higher low. Automatically, you are waiting. Whereas this market has done what? Push a little bit, push down a little bit. You now say, okay, this is a higher low. This market still push, change to lower high. See, made a higher low, change to lower high, push lower. Like, you need to adapt. The market doesn't move straight line. And that's where most traders are being trapped. I believe with this little explanation and breakdown, you really understand that It is so easy to trade a strategy as simple as this. I crafted these things. Like I sat down, I observed this market thousands of times, and I have been testing this thing and it's literally working. Anyways, don't forget, it's your boy, Only One by FX. You know the vibe. Let me tell you, I am so happy to resume my YouTube journey. And please like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to send this video to anybody, you can send it. But make sure you watch this video and give me your feedback. Peace out, guys. Ooh, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself.